Hello, thank you for coming to this video today, guys. This is the video that you've all been waiting for. I've been getting so many questions about how stake pools are ranked, how this all works, what does the minimum fee mean. There's a lot of misconceptions going around. A lot of people don't know how to delegate to get the most rewards. But that's what I'm going to be going over in this video today. There's a couple different ways you guys can delegate. By delegating, you're essentially voting with your wallet. So there are multiple ways you can delegate. I'm going to be showing you guys how to get the best rewards. I'm going to be showing you guys how to delegate for decentralization. I'm going to be showing you guys how to delegate to bring value to ADA. And then I'm also going to be explaining all of these parameters down here, like the rank parameter, how the stake pools are ranked, the controlled stake, pool margin, pledge, cost per epoch, produce blocks. I'm going to be explaining what all this stuff means because a lot of it does not mean what you think it means. There's a lot of hidden stuff behind these rankings and behind what these actually mean and how they play into rewards. It's not as simple as the incentivized testnet. But before we jump into the video, if you guys enjoy my channel, make sure you leave a like, comment down below. Also, if you guys are wondering, I have not moved from this chair at all since the Cardano effect live stream. I've been sitting here building two pools. This is me 2 pools later. Still haven't moved. Still wearing the same Bloom shirt that you guys can buy in the link down below. Yeah, but let's jump into the video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into the thick of it. We're going to be looking at Bloom right here. Bloom is my pool. I will be doing a little bit of advertising this video, but all of this information is going to be true and right, and that's what obviously there could be some bias here because I do own a stake pool, but the information I'm going to be giving you is telling you how to read these parameters and how to choose the stake pool so you guys can make your best opinion. But I'm also going to give you the information about my stake pool because I got to keep the lights on here, you know. Got to keep the lights on. But let's jump into it. So the first thing that we need to talk about is the most important. How does the ranking in Daedalus work? So that's a great question. It doesn't right now. It's random. So there's this thing called an epoch, right? I'm going to start square one. This information is just going to be quick and concise, so you guys don't have to, if you already know it, you don't have to keep listening. So in 2 days and 17 hours, I'm recording this video at night, there will be the start of the first epoch. After the start of the first epoch, the pools will start to be ranked. Or maybe even after the start of the second epoch. They're going to be ranked at some point, but they might be random until we start getting blocks. The reason I can't give you that date is because no one has given that to me yet. But currently, the pools are all random. But eventually, when the pools start to get ranked correctly, they'll be ranked in a way of payment, right? So if there's #1 pool right here, it's Bloom, right? If my pool Bloom is #1 and you delegate to my pool, you'll get the most rewards. It's that simple. But there's a lot more to it than that because you also have to worry about who the stake pool operator is. Is the pool going to stay up? How long you're going to be delegating to them? There's a lot more that goes into this. Who knows if they'll only be there for a minute, if they'll get saturated. This is some more information that we're going to be going over today, but let's look at the second parameter here. Okay, so the controlled stake. What does a controlled stake mean? That means how many ADA delegated to a pool. Right, so if Bloom, my pool, has 100 million ADA delegated, then that's Bloom. Then that's the controlled stake, right? So the pool margin, this is the one that has a lot of misconception. So the pool margin it just shows up as a percent in Daedalus, right? But a lot of people think because the incentivized testnet, this is how it worked. If you had a lower fee, 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%, if you had a lower fee, that means you were getting more ADA. Right. Well, with Bloom, or not with Bloom, with mainnet, a lower fee does not mean more rewards. There's other factors at play here. 2 things that are in play that you guys need to keep into account. This pledge value right here. So at Bloom, our pledge is 2.5 million. We're up there with the best in pledge, and that's to guarantee you guys the best rewards. So we wanted to set our pool at 5%. A lot of you may think that's high. It's not because we have such a high pledge. So what pledge is? So say someone has 0 ADA delegated, but someone is at the best amount of pledge. The point of pledge where delegating or pledging any more does not net you any more rewards. So if you delegate to the guy with 0 ADA, say you start here, and then you decide that guy's not giving me enough rewards, even though he only charges me 1%, like 1% pool, but he has 0 pledge or 10K pledge. So if you delegate to the guy that's at the top of the pledge, you're going to earn 30% more. 30% more with that guy than you are with the little guy. That's much greater than 5%. And just because Bloom has a 2.5 million pledge doesn't mean that you can't delegate to some of these smaller guys with 100K pledge. Just having a good, decent amount of pledge is good. You just want to make sure that it's, I would say, above 50K. You know, you want to be on your way there on that 30%. But that's why we chose the 2.5 million ADA pledge at Bloom, so we could charge 5% to give you guys good infrastructure, good servers, while also still being able to give you good rewards that keep up with the best of them, right? So let's go to the next thing. Cost per epoch. So cost per epoch, there's a minimum set by IOHK. This minimum is 340 ADA per epoch. A lot of people think that maybe that's a fee that they have to pay to delegate. That is not the case. And also a lot of people think that you need 2.5 million ADA to delegate to Bloom or 100K ADA to delegate to a pool with 100K pledge. That is not the case. Pledge determines how many rewards you get. It's a lock in the system to prevent Sybil attacks, to ensure the security of the Cardano protocol pledges in place. So they incentivize pledge by giving people with higher pledge, higher rewards up until a certain point. What is that certain point, you ask? We don't know yet. We have to wait a couple epochs, see what people pledge to figure that out. So this cost per epoch that I was talking about, where the heck does that come from? Do I pay that when I delegate? No, you do not. This cost per epoch is taken out of the total rewards for the pool. So Bloom has about 70 million ADA delegated to it right now. So imagine all of the rewards coming from 70 million ADA. It's a lot, right? So imagine all of those rewards going to a pool right here. Well, now let's say that pool is paid out every epoch, which it is. Let's not say. That pool is paid out every epoch. So 340 ADA is subtracted from that total rewards pool. So not just your rewards pool, the rewards for everyone. So essentially this controlled stake parameter right here that I was talking about earlier that you thought just meant the amount of ADA delegated, it actually has to do with your returns at the same time, right? Because think about it. If the rewards from 70 million ADA, 340 is being taken out of that, right? Now, or let's do the smaller number. 500,000 ADA rewards. 340 is taken out. That's a big percentage every week of 500,000 ADA's rewards. Off the top of my head, that might even be all of it. So if you delegate to a pool with, I would say 500,000 ADA or less, and they have to have this minimum cost per epoch set by IOHK, no doubt about it, you're not going to get any rewards from that pool because the cost per epoch is being sucked out of there, right? So by delegating to a bigger pool, you're going to earn more rewards. To counteract this at Bloom, obviously I'm advertising here for a little bit, but to counteract this at Bloom, we decided to make 2 pools to also ensure decentralization, which I'll touch on later. But we decided to make 2 pools, and we worked with some partners, and we're going to have 20 million ADA delegated to each pool minimum on Epoch 1. But we've already passed that. Currently, Bloom, this is Bloom right here. There's 2 pools, Bloom and Bloom 2. Bloom already has 65 to 70 million ADA delegated to it, so that minimum cost per epoch will barely take a hit at your ADA at all. And also Bloom 2 already has 25 million ADA delegated to it off the top of my head. So again, if you compare that to a smaller pool, that minimum cost per epoch that every pool operator has to have at Bloom, you're not going to be taken out of that. But yep, that's a little advertisement for Bloom. I mean, it's just got to keep the lights on here, but I am trying to keep it unbiased. I'm just telling you guys how I relate my stake pool to these parameters. But let's keep going. Okay, so there's three reasons to pick a pool to delegate, right? So we talked about this a little bit earlier. The first reason is making the most rewards. Right, so we'll reiterate on that a little bit. To make the most rewards, you delegate to the first pool that you trust, right? But also keep in mind that this K number that's set by IOHK at K equals 150 is, I've been told by the developers and by the people that made this theory, that eventually over time, the top K number of pools, K set at 150, so the top K number of pools should pay about the same amount. That will take some time, right? But just keep that in mind. It is important to know the theory behind this to see where the system goes. But yeah, so if you delegate to any of the pools, I would say within the top 10, top 20, top 30, they're going to pay around the same. There will be some outliers, though. You do need to keep that in mind. Okay, so the second reason to delegate, decentralization. This is important. We're all here. I mean, a lot of us are here for money, but I'm personally here for decentralization. We need a decentralized financial operating system for the world. So how do we ensure that it is the most decentralized, and it is more decentralized than Bitcoin, as Charles said? Well, it's you. You have to vote with your ADA, with your wallet, right? So if you decide to delegate to a pool that has a lot of pools, I'm not adding anyone here, but IOHK, there's, as I said, K equals 150. So that puts that saturation point of all ADA delegated at 150 pools. So if 150 pools were saturated, that would be the max amount for all those pools. So that's that equilibrium number that we're talking about here. So IOHK just came out and made 20 pools, right? So let's do some math here. If we do 20 divided by 150, that gives us 13.33%, right? So if all 20 of IOHK's pools saturate, what does that mean? That means IOHK owns 13% of our decentralized network. How more decentralized than Bitcoin is that, right? Well, it's on you as a delegator to choose pools that do not have too many pools, or choose pools that don't have 5 saturated pools, right? So that's why here at Bloom, we decided to only create 2 pools to keep decentralization in mind, especially when K is only 150, and other stake pool operators need to have a chance to make enough money to keep doing this, right, for the future. And Bloom will make more pools in the future, but only when K is 200, K is 250. As this K value increases and there's more opportunity out there, then we will expand, right? But right now, we need to worry about decentralization. We need to worry about smaller stake pool operators, right? And this leads me to my final point in this video, is another reason to delegate to a pool other than higher rewards is value. Value that stake pool operators bring to the community, whether it's YouTube videos like me here with Bloom. I make these videos explaining these parameters to you guys. I try to get Cardano out there and make everyone more informed, right? So that's the value that I bring to the community, other than just running a stake pool and hosting a server on the network and hosting the network. There's other people that do stuff maybe behind the scenes that you haven't seen. The best example I can think of off the top of my head is this guy right here at ADA. His pool's doing great so far. So you don't really have to worry about him, but he's doing great. His pledge is 2.5 million as well, but he built scripts that a lot of operators use to build their stake pools. He's been a really helpful guy. He helps people out if you reach out to him. It's just also people that help people, right? People that answer questions, people that help people build stake pools, right? Like Ada Frog. Let me look him up on here. Ada Frog had a stake pool. Yeah, look, his pool's right here. Ada Frog, or that's Ada FR. It's not Ada FR. It's Ada Frog and Ada Frog 2. So why am I talking about him? Well, he had a stake pool service where he brought a bunch of people in and taught them all how to build a stake pool, right? It's similar to what I do on my Discord channel and what I do with my how to create a stake pool videos. This is good for the network. It decentralizes the network, right? And it teaches people things, right? So think about it this way. I know that this isn't money, but this is where the money part comes in. If you delegate to the people that bring value to ADA, value to the Cardano protocol, then you will make more money in the long run than just delegating to someone that pays you 1% more, right? Let's think about 1%. On 100 ADA in Epoch, that's 1 ADA extra that you earn at Epoch. So imagine you delegate to someone who's building a DApp on Cardano, and the way he's funding this DApp is not through the DC fund. He's funding it through his stake pool earnings. So by delegating to him, he's building the DApp that brings a group of people into Cardano that raise the value of it. Or this guy is creating a YouTube video that brings in a wide audience for Cardano. Or this guy taught me about Cardano. This guy brought me into Cardano. Or just a million different things that you can think of. You have to look out in the community to find these people that bring value to the community, bring value to them, incentivize them, as Charles would say. Incentives matter. So if you incentivize these people, then they will bring value to your system. My cat is loving this speech. She's coming up here to say hi to me. But yeah, I mean, that's really it. There's 3 ways that you guys should delegate to a pool. the most amount of money, people that bring value to the system, and you also have to keep decentralization in mind, right? But that's the end of the video. If you guys want to stake with me with Bloom because you appreciate what I do, we have 2 stake pools. We have Bloom and Bloom 2. The rewards are awesome. Join our Discord server down below for saturation notifications. Also notifications on anything else Bloom. You just join that Discord server down below. We also give help to people that don't understand some stuff like parameters, like how to stake. We help people out directly there and personally. So yeah, also the t-shirts down below. Leave a like on the video. Blah, 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 blah. But I really appreciate you guys all coming here today. I really appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving me in Bloom. I'm going to keep working hard. I'm going to keep grinding. I'm going to keep bringing this value to Cardano and value to the community. And it seems like you guys are really liking it, and it really means a lot to work on something for months. I built this channel for this day, for this stake pool, right? And to work on this for months and for it to all come together and to see Cardano come together like this, it's just really beautiful and it's surreal for me. So thank you guys. I hope you all have a good week.